What could possibly go wrong with filling an automated drone full of poison and sending it on its own merry way out over the Colombian countryside to fumigate, giant air quotes there, coca crops? I can't think of any problems. Can you think of any problems? Do these people not understand what this tool is? Made to order for terrorists. Can you imagine if they took out the poison that they were going to use to kill the weeds and filled it with something a little bit more terrifying? See, what could be aerosolized over a large population? And they're not talking about putting out one of these things or two of these things. They're talking about putting out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these things. All they got to do is knock these suckers out of the sky. And off you mark my words, this day, I'm calling it right now, they're going to look back at this decision as having led to a major terrorist incident that's going to cause huge loss of life here in the United States, period. I'm calling it right here, right now. 26 June at 10:30 p.m., 2018. Now, I'm going to show you something today with just pure numbers to show you the difference between right-wing paramilitaries, the ones they're not telling you about, and the correlation between violence, drug production, extrajudicial killings. This entire issue all wrapped up in a bow. Now, here's a chart from an article talking about how The Hague is getting a little bit antsy about Colombia's promise that they're going to prosecute these paramilitaries that were tied to their own security forces. They've been dragging their feet for 4 years, meaning that they have all sorts of money and time and effort to go after the FARC and the ELN and the left wing, but when it comes to the right wing ones, of course, there's always some excuse. But it gives you this great chart about extrajudicial killings in Colombia. Through a certain period of time, they skyrocketed and then they went away. Now that stops here at 2012. I wish it continued, because there's more to that story. But it's this year 2007 I want you to pay attention to. It's this giant line here. It correlates to a couple of other statistics as well. 2007. Now, this is a chart, USA to Colombia. Now, this 2000-2001 is a misreport. These two numbers, you can put them together and divide by 2. So this number here, right along here, is what it was. This is just when it got reported. This got reported too early, and this got reported late. It was about delivery of aid because of the 9/11 attacks. But point being, the biggest year for U.S. aid to Colombia was 2007 out of all these years. And it slowly started to go down in 2008. 2009, these years, we stopped financing Colombia's drug production. We stopped sending them money hand over fist just to watch it go right into the hands of the cartels and the drug dealers. And amazingly, when you look at extrajudicial killings, let's look at what happens. Wow, away it goes. As if that wasn't bad enough, let's look at hectares of coca cultivation in Colombia. Okay, like I said, this 2007 number, the highest one. And look what happens when we stop sending a whole crap load of money down to Colombia. Now, you might ask, what happened in 2014? Why did it all of a sudden start to skyrocket again these last 2 years, 3 years? This is when Santos decided he was going to disarm the ELN and the FARC. You see, the ELN and the FARC are paramilitaries that are made up of the people of Colombia that want to protect their country from big corporations and globalists. Big corporations and globalists are who finance the right-wing paramilitaries. So when you made the quote-unquote peace deal with the FARC and the ELN, and you got rid of them, and they laid down their arms, and they walked away, look what the right-wing paramilitary started to do. And last year was another record year. Because the ELN and the FARC are not out there stopping these right-wing paramilitaries from growing and dealing coke. It's why the price went up. It's why during these years you saw the Mexicans start to get into the game. Because the production here was going down and going down and going down, and the U.S. was done, at least until recently, financing these crimes. It all correlates perfectly. Aid to Colombia, extrajudicial killings, and coca cultivation. The more we cut money to Colombia, the better the drug problem gets. Until, of course, you have the globalists step in and try to fix it. And this is the idiocy of this guy Santos. Defending his strategy, which doesn't work or has not worked. And now he's blaming it, and partially so, on us. This U.S.-led war, quote-unquote, on drugs. It's the most insane. Well, it's not really when you understand that there is no war. They want it here. And they want their issue. And I need both sides, if they're out there listening, both the left and the right, to hear me on this. You both have people in your party that don't want the issue solved. They both want the issue to be something they can use as a club to beat the other side up with. Nobody wants a solution. Because there are plenty of solutions out there. Good solutions that will work, but arguing about it on Fox or CNN or whatever is much more profitable. And this is something that's on the left and the right. That's why you see the rhetoric so heated. That's why you see this trickling over into things that happen to people outside of this, whatever his name was that got shouted down at the Trump rally, and the woman that got her dinner interrupted. This is what's happening. People have gotten overly emotional about something that they're just being played. They're just being used. It's a hard thing to explain. It really is. How the media and how these, and I know a lot of you probably already understand this, and pardon me if I seem like I'm rambling, but the point was this, is that it's easy to see in the numbers, and we could fix this problem, but now we have this. And this is, mark my words, going to be something that comes back to bite us in the ass. It really is. Now, last minute, I won't waste any more of your time. I had an incredible experience today here locally, and I just wanted to give a big shout out to someone. This particular person works at T-Mobile. Now, this isn't some big sales pitch for T-Mobile, but I went in there to see if I could upgrade my phone. I'd been with them for a while, and this young lady looked at my account. She was 1 hour from clocking out to go on vacation for 10 days for her birthday. And she noticed that my account was being billed for 2 lines when I'd only had 1. And she got on the phone, and she called back to main office on my behalf and got me an enormous credit on my phone bill, got me a better plan, a military plan, and I got upgraded to an iPhone 8 Plus. Didn't have to do this. She was ready to book. She was ready to go, enjoy her weekend. She didn't have to look into anything, but she took the time and she saved me a ton of money and got me a nice phone. And it's rare these days that you find people that will take the time to do something good for you when they don't have to, especially in that situation. So Logan Bishop, works at T-Mobile in St. Augustine at the Plaza at 312 and US 1. Go in and say, hey, I saw you on the Florida Maquis. This is the kind of person we need in all businesses. I'd like to see this kind of an attitude, can-do attitude, honest, decent attitude, saw a problem and fixed it, didn't have to. It would be really amazing to see a lot more people like this in politics and in positions of power. So, Logan Bishop, have a great vacation, have a happy birthday, and we will leave it there. Like, share, subscribe, and we will talk to you next time. Thank you.